This is part 2 of the filter run of the last digit 8's. In the last video I showed where I got the last digit 8's on the 4B. Basically it was here, I looked at the number 18, I saw it had quite a few dormant periods, it's -9, it's a possible trend reversal. It might not do it, but we're going to run the last digit 8's filter. So when you run the filter, this is the main page. In this blank space, you want to right click. When you right click, this menu comes up. So find lotto numbers is what you want. So it's got the binoculars here. So you click on the find lotto numbers, and this is what comes up. You get this box here, find lotto numbers. And so what I did was I selected all of the 8's. And after I select all of the 8's, I hit this down arrow. This down arrow should bring it down to number 2. And when you hit the down arrow, this box automatically fills in. And by default, for simplicity's sake, I do not include the bonus numbers. You can do that, but I generally don't do it. When I was playing the 6 of 59 with the bonus, I didn't do the bonus. When I run chart 9, I wouldn't add the bonus. Just simplicity, and I was still able to match, in one line, 3 of 6 with a very small wheel. So I don't do that. So then you hit width, okay, and then that brings up this menu. So it shows you have 80 hits with any 2 of 8, 18, 28, 38, 48. And you can see here, this is B minus, means it does not include the bonus. This B plus includes the bonus, and the B with the star is the bonus only. So there's been 80 drawings where you have 2 numbers of the 8's come out. And you can verify here, I noticed the range of the 180, and then I switched it. So this is the actual last structure change, and it's about 601 drawings. And so the last time you had 2 digits with two last digit 8's was on April 22, previous was on April 8th, and then April 4. Now the last long skip was a 24. Now this table information is correct here. This 24 is a correct number. So that's in the hits, okay? Now we're going to go, if you go to the next one here, this is the hits with graph. This tells you which numbers occur best when you have any combination of 2 with 8, 28, 38, 48. So this basically tells you what the filter is here. 80 hits with any of 2, 8, 18, 28, 38, 48. And it also tells you here that what the filter is. So it tells you the game, and so you have your range and your game. So that's why I like to take the larger skip to make sure I don't make any mistakes, and you guys can make sure that we're on the same page. I'm not making some silly errors or mistakes, which happen more than often. So that's the hits with graph. So if you look at this, you can see that the number 3 here has hit 16 times. So if you were going to play these 5 8's in your wheel, you would most likely add the 3 because it's 16 hits. You'd add the 31 at 11 hits, the 44 at 12 hits, right? Now that doesn't mean that the 21 can't come out. That's why you should cross-reference with the chart 4. A hard copy chart 4 is what I like to reference with. I print it out, and I also have a hard copy 4BA, which is like a hybrid chart that I'll show later. So that's how so you'd have these 5 numbers on your wheel, and you'd add these based on their propensity to hit with the 8's. Now the skipped graph is really the meat and potatoes, where it shows you how long you might have to wait. So when you click on number 3, the skip graph here, that brings you over here, and so this tells you how long you'll have to wait. So over here you can see 36 drawings where you had to wait, where this particular pattern or variable occurred, and here was 35. Now one thing that's very important to realize is that if you remember on the chart that we just looked on the table, the last skip here was 24, but you can see this is 25. So the skip zeros are not registering on this chart. All of these ones here should be zeros, and this 25 should be a 24. So if we look at the skips, we can verify that, because so this 21, 22, 22, 25 will on the table show 20, 21, 21, 24, right? So 20, 21, 21, 24. So let's go back and we'll look and verify that. And here you go, 20, 21, 21, 24. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. I don't think it's a deal breaker as far as using the program. I mean, I'm still using it, but you really should just be aware of that. Now, I only noticed that because I run the filters in Excel, and that's how I was able to notice it. Otherwise, I probably would have, totally overlooked it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, especially if you're looking at the hard copy drawing since hit chart. It says skip 15, and then you look at the chart and you say, okay, it hits at 16. It says, no, that is a 15. You have to just be aware of that. And let's see if we can go back up. All right, so there's our filter. So you had a long skip here. Let me see, are we at the same filter? Oh no, this is the hits width graph. And then going back to the filter, so you had this long, so this is really a skip of 35, and this is a skip of 34. Now you had here the last digit 8's, it repeated 2 drawings in a row. And you can also verify it here because it's 3171 and then 3172. So the skip is 0, it repeated. Okay, it didn't miss one drawing. It was back-to-back drawings. So that's the skip graph. Now, then what I did was I ran the filter again, okay? Same structure, 8, 18, 28, 38, 48, but this time I did 3 numbers. Now, one little caveat here that I noticed is that when I did this, I actually had switched to a separate game. I was looking at the Florida to see, I was updating that chart because that one I like because it's low odds, and I figure that that's one that, I can help much more people, and it's much more easier. I'm not sure what the odds of this game are, but it's got to be more than 1 in 500,000. So we have here then, so same deal. You enter in all the 8's, put in the 3, and you hit width. Now, because I had switched to the Florida, when I came back to the Singapore, I forgot to remove the bonus. Now, whether that's good or bad is up to a matter of opinion. Some people like the bonuses. Some people, just look at the bonus alone. Certainly, like in Mega Millions, I look at the bonus alone. So it depends on your preference, and different people have different views, and certainly you could debate till the cows come home regarding whether or not you should use the bonus. But for simplicity's sake, by default, I do not use it, and so I forgot to turn it off. So anyway, if you have 3 numbers, and remember this is including the bonus. So actually you can see the bonus here. You see it has the plus plus. So this 38 is the same as this 38. It's the bonus. So this last column is the bonus. You could probably, well, I don't know why he did it like that or why it works like that, but this is the same number. So these are your skips here. And again, you have the same situation where each skip here is correct, but in the skip graph, it's going to be one more. So here is an 83 here, right? Okay, so then same deal with the hits width graph. You would look and see, okay, this is too big. So let me shrink this. Okay, so you have, now the other hits width graph was in numerical order. When you click on this margin here, right, if you click on right where it says, right on the words, number of times, it'll sort it. You can sort it from the best hitting or you can flip it and it'll sort it from the worst hitting. So I like to put it the best over here. So when you have 3 over here, when you have 3 hits, 17 hits with any 3 of 8, 18, 28, 38, 48, the best number, well, actually, the first 5 numbers are always the best because those are the ones that come out. The best number here is the 46, 5 times, and then 34. So you can make, you make your decisions based on that. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just by looking at these numbers here, right? So like for instance, here you had the 8 and the 28 here. You might have considered Fibonacci spread, had only numbers in the middle, right? And then got the bonus here. Or you could have done, let's see, another Fibonacci here is from 8 to 28. Now, I say 20 is Fibonacci because the Fibonacci is 20, 21, 22, but it's just simpler for me to think the mathematics-wise from 8 to 28. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, 8 to 28, right? And then you had the 38 additionally, and then the bonus was outside of the range. So that, it depends on what you think and how you feel. So this is basically, and this is how I would I get an idea. I know my framework. So the Fibonacci spread is like a framework. It's a frame from the first number to the last number for a wheel. And you can break the rule. The rules always worked for me. So the rule, though, it's broken at your own discretion. It could be an adjacent that you like. It's going to be like a repeater high that you like. Like for instance here, you can see this 48 is adjacent here to the 47. That might have been a reason why to play the digit 8s. Let's see, where could I say? I don't know, but that's what I do. I look in more depth and see if anything stands out. And then finally, this is the hits, and then the last is the skip graph. So we look at the skip graph over here. We'll shrink this too. And we don't have to shrink it too much, but here we go. So we shrink it. So this is a skip 83. Here's a skip. It looks like a 77. So it'll be 77 because I'm subtracting 1. So this is how long the maximum since the last structure change, meaning when they added the extra balls, it was 84 games before you had 3 last digit 8s, and that includes the bonus, unfortunately. But maybe it is fortunate for you. I don't know. I generally like to run them without it. So here you can see the bonus plus. So 84 and 78 have been the long skips. So if we go back though to the over here, I wrote in this. That's the current skips. So the last time you had, let's see, did I shrink this? Okay, it was like this. The last time you had 3 last digit 8s, and actually here is 4 last digit 8s, if considering the bonus. So it was 4. So because the 3 here is match at least 3, so minimum 3. So you had 4 here. Is there any other 4s here? I just noticed. I didn't even realize that before that there was 4. I think these are all 3, and then this is 4. But it's 3 plus the bonus. So the last time was drawing 3329. So the current drawing here, 3407. And so basically this, I just subtracted the 3329 from the 3407. And I got a skip of 78. So if you look at the current skip over here, 78. But remember, this is a 77 because it's not on the, it doesn't show a 0 skip on this graph. So you're very close, right? If the trend is truly your friend. Now I can't guarantee it, but this is where I set my limits when I wager. I say, okay, I'm gonna watch this for X amount of draws before I have to change my strategy. Something I was looking at did not happen. So it is interesting though that we're at the 78 and this is a 77. And so maybe it'll happen on the next draw, right? It'll be a 78-78 bottom. You'll have the symmetry. Or it could go to, skip 83 here. It'll be an 83-83 symmetry. So 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. So this is a pattern to look for the next 6 drawings minimum. Now, of course, you could have a worst case scenario where it doesn't hit and it goes to like a new maximum, skip 100 or something. Only, I don't know, only God knows what's going to happen in that regards. So as far as these skips, that's where we are. That's the current skip. So it's been 78 drawings since you had minimum 3, and that includes the bonus. And this is the structure. I subtracted the structure change. It's 661 drawings. So the last thing to look at here is, let's see. If I get it not responding, I'm going to shut it off if I can save it. I don't want to lose the video. It becomes a pain in the butt. So where are we? 2 by last digit, all gold. So I ran this filter here, minimum 2 of these 8's. I ran it for every single number, for the 0s, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. I ran it for all of them. And so here it is. So these are the 0s. Now I don't know where the 0 are right now. And I noticed, again, I forgot to take off the default. I forgot. By default, I like to remove the bonus. I forgot here. Okay. Now, the drawing sense hit chart, I'll have running for Excel eventually. But let me see. Where's the last digit? Oh, here, last digit, G. Okay. So if you go to chart G, it shows you the last digit analysis. Okay. So this is basically a drawing sense hit chart, just with the data. So you can see here's a 2, and then 2 again, and then 2 again, and then 2 again. So I would call this a streak for the 0s. And then here you have a 2 for the 1s. This looks like a dormant period. We don't know how long it is. And this could be entering into another dormant period here. Let's move this dish out of the way. Whoops, not that one. Let's move this. And so for the 3s, here's a hit here, here's a hit here. The 5s are hitting pretty strong for 2 last digit 5s. And here is the 8s. So you had here, we don't know what this skip is because we don't know what's over here. But here's a skip 1. This looks like an intermediate. This is a skip 3. Now it's skip 3 again. So you have a 3-3 symmetry for the 2 last digit 8s. Here's a long dormant period for the 9. So this is a drawing sense hit chart. So you can just count how many since the last time it happened. So for the 7, for instance, you have here 2 with when you had the 17 and the 27. Now here you can see I remember to remove the bonus. You can see the B minus. So if you count for the last digit 7s, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I believe that's 16. So I'm just going to write that down, 16, because the dormant periods are harder to predict than the flag formations, because the flag formations are within the nexus, and therefore you're expecting or wagering that the nexus is going to continue and it's not going to stop. So this will be for I'll write it in so I don't forget. This is last digit 7. All right, so this will be the drawing sense hit chart. Now this chart here tells you percent of normal, and it's a little complicated, and I don't really understand it very well, and it's a little bit whatever. So I'm just going to skip it. So I'm going to go back to where are we going to go? We're going to go back. We're going back to the filter that I ran, and I'll come back and look at this last digit 7. So here is the skip chart, right? Here's your dormant period. This was a skip of 41, 36, 35, 34. right? So I'm going to put this at 36 here for the zeros. And so this is how you anticipate which last digits you want to go for, or at least this is how I do, and this is how I would recommend it that you do it. And I'm doing this first because I can do this in Advantage Gold, and I don't have to do it in Excel. But I will do it in Excel because with these charts, the ice pyramids, for me at least, they help beneficial because I like to know how long a number is going to stay in a streak. Now you can see here's a streak here. This is a 1142. So I'm just by default I'm going to just subtract these because I'm aware that this is it's a -1 because there are no skip zeros. You can see there are no skip zeros here, and you know that it repeats. So these ones are really zeros. So this is a 1142. This is a little streak here. Not too many streaks. So over here I did the ones. Now for last digit ones, you can see the skip is less. It's 2324, and the reason for that is because there's an additional last digit 1, where here the last digit zeros, there's only 4 of them. So it occurs less. So that's why you have a max of 41, and over here is a max of 24. Now since all the last digits are pretty similar for 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, all the way to 9s, you should have a similar maximum of 24 around here. And that's my sidereal. That's why I always look for the sidereal skip. And I'm sorry, this 24 is actually a 23. So this is a 23, here's a 22. And then I look for the streak. Here's a streak. Here's a nice streak. You can see here. Here's a 1, 6, 7, 3, 5, 4, 4, 8. So this is a long streak here. So this is and a nexus is like a streak because if you look up nexus in the dictionary, it makes more sense than saying flag formation, and it's not really a flag formation because there are no 2 5s. But there is a 5, I'm sorry, there is a 4, there's a 4 3 4 3 3. So there's your symmetry right there. So that's last digits. And so you can also see here the filter. Oh, and I'm sorry. The other thing is that the skip is going to be lower also because I added the bonus, right? So that also has an effect on the skips on the skip chart. And you can see the game here. You can see the range, and this is the filter with any 2 of last digit 1s. So if we look at the last digit 2s, again, I forgot to remove the bonus, but you can see you have the same maximum skip. It still occurs about 22, 22, 22. All right. So that should be generally standard for all of the numbers. I can generally make that assumption that that'll be the skip. It'll be a sidereal skip for 2 last digit 2s, meaning so if you put these 5 numbers in your wheel, you should get 2 correct. Now, this is also minimum. This is minimum 2. So some of these could have 3 last digit 2s. That would have, you would have to look at the other table to see if that was the case. And so we'll go to skip 3s. Again, I didn't remove the bonus. Now this, I would consider this an anomaly. All right, you had your sidereals over here, and then here you had this maximum skip of 62. The only way to determine why this would happen, you would have to go back and look at the dish. I'm going to call the drawing sense hit chart the dish. You'd have to go back to the dish and see which number, there must have been some number that was an exhaustion in the last digit 3s. And that's the bonus. So this is an anomaly here. And, an anomaly can come at any time, really. So where are we? Next digit. Okay, last digit 4s. At this point, I realized that I was using the bonus. I don't like to use the bonus. Again, you can see how using the bonus and not using the bonus will affect the skip charts. You can see it shifts the sidereal out one iteration or I don't know. I'm making this all up as I go, but you can see the first sidereal was 24. Now you're getting around 36, 37 with an exhaustion here of 40 in regards to a minimum it says any two, so it's a minimum of 2 last digit 4s. So over here, you went all the way up to 40. Now, if I had used a bonus, this would probably drop down, then this 36 would drop to 24, right? That's an assumption that I'm making based on the effect that occurred looking at the other chart. All right, so we'll go to the next last digit. This is 5s. We got another, well, this is not necessary, well, all right, so there wasn't any 36. This was 42 instead of the 40. So this was your 41, because remember, there are no skip zeros. So this is 41 and 41. But this is a long-term bottom, right? This is long symmetry here. 41, 41, 41, 41. All right, so that's long symmetry here. Now it's 41, 41 because the table will say 41. I just forget, because I just forget. But you try not to forget. So that's last digits 5s, last digits 6s. Again, you can see verify the range, verify the game, verify the filter. Now here you had 46, 48. So now it's a little bit of off. You see, the other one was around 40, 41 was your long-term symmetry. Now your symmetry is going out to 45. So those are very, 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 very subtle distinctions between the patterns that occur within the game that you're trying to capitalize on. They're so minor, but this is what you're really looking for. All right, so now we'll go to last digit 7s. So last digit 7s also had an anomaly. It went all the way to skip 59 here. So that's interesting. And then previous symmetry over here was sidereal. And sidereal, I'm talking about like a clock, 12 hours, 24, 12, 24, 36. When I say sidereal, I'll have to look up the definition, but that's what I mean when I say sidereal. So it was sidereal, and this here is also 59, but you can consider 60 in outliers in sidereal, if that's the right word. And then the other thing was I said, if you look at the drawing sense hit chart for the last digit 7s, I counted 16, right? So that's the current skip, is 16 for last digit 7s. So I compare the long skip on the drawing sense hit chart, and then you compare it with the skip chart, the long skip chart. This chart technically is a 4B. In Excel, this is a 4B. You have your 4B, right? And then this is a clustered column in Excel. This is a clustered column, and so basically this is a clustered column, and then the other one, well, let me not digress. Anyway, this is a 4B. This is a 4B clustered column within the Delphi program. That's what this is. So this is, but in Excel, they're very, very, very skinny, because I like to print them skinny, because this is going to eat up your ink when you print it. Now, you may consider printing out each one of these, right? Once you like over here, you see you have your graph here and you have the little printer here. You might want to run this filter and then print them, and maybe give a copy out to each member in your pool group. And I don't know how your pool works, if it's just a random pool, like they just throw a bunch of people together and it's a random pool. I don't know how it works over there, but that's what you may consider doing. So the current skip is 16 on the drawing sense hit chart, so we're going to look for 16. Now remember, 16 over here is going to be a 17 because there are no skip zeros on this chart. So here's 17. This would be a skip 16. So this would be 16, 16 symmetry. 16, 16 symmetry. This is, I believe this is a 17, and this would be a 15. So you could look symmetry for the last digit 7s, and based on this sidereal maximum here is 24. So if it doesn't hit at 16, you know you're going to have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 that you could, or you should, I wouldn't even say should because you don't know what's going to happen, but you could get two last digit sevens. And this is also, remember, not considering the bonus because I don't have the bonus. Within 8 drawings, you could have two last digit sevens. So you can, did I say 7 or was it 8? Let me see. Let me do 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, 24. With 8. Okay. 8. 8 for the skip 24 here. 7 for a straight 23, 23 symmetry. So 8 drawings for last digit 7s. And remember, when we ran the original filter, I'm not going to switch back because I don't want it to freeze by accident. Where am I? Three. Minimum 3 last digit 8s was skip 1. It was the next drawing, and then I think it was skip 84 is the highest skip since the ball set changed. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next one, 8. Okay, now 8, again, no bonus. 8 is kind of interesting here. Oh, this is the same one, the 8s, right? This is minimum 8. Okay, so so I got the 8s in 2 places. I don't have to go back. But this is minimum 2, 8. And so the 8 is in a current, it's in a little kind of streak here. So here was a 0, this is a 0013 streak. And so you had it at least 3 drawings ago. Right. So and this is a 9. So yeah, this was your streak. It's a 1, 9, 3, and now we don't know. So you've already had in this streak. And here's your dormant periods. You can see here, 1 dormant period, 2 dormant periods, 3 dormant periods. You had a small streak here. Here's a decent streak here. Here's a very decent streak. Even though these intermediate skips of 7 I don't like, but I prefer an intermediate skip of 7. Rather, I prefer 7 than 9, of course, because 7 is less than 9. And so here's your streak, and so you're looking at symmetry now. 3-3 could be 3-5, you might have a 3-9 again, but right now it's possible to have the last digit 8s, and the minimum 3. So the minimum 3 is skip 1 for the most recent symmetry, and then the other skip. Let me see. Do I want to go back? No, I don't want to go back. If it freezes, I'll lose the whole video, and then I'll have to do it again. So we'll do skip 9. Okay, skip 9. Let's see. Oh, not skip 9. I'm sorry. Last digit 9s. So last digit 9s, same deal. Okay, here's your sidereal here. Little area. Skip 24, skip 23, skip 23. This is, I believe, skip 25, skip 23, and here's a small anomaly, skip 29. That's last digit 9s. Okay, and that's it for last digits. So I'll make this a part 2. I don't want to take the chance. That's too much information, and that was a long one. So you might have to watch this a couple of times to get all the points that I'm talking about. But actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna before I do the other part that I was gonna do, I'm gonna upload this, and then you have this, and then I'll do the other 2 later, because it's getting, what time is it? It's 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna cook something to eat. I have a pork chop, some rice and beans. What else? What else? Piece of cheesecake, maybe some granola, and I'm gonna start my workout for my game because my draw occurs at 7. I'm gonna watch it live, and I'm gonna try and do a big portion of my workout tonight, so tomorrow I can then focus on another game. I think it's gonna do the all or nothing, because the other guy, he's just waiting there, and I'll look for some more files and stuff and try to organize. But Yeah. So what was it? Pork chop, rice, beans, something else that I was gonna eat. I forgot. Even though that's enough, I really don't need to eat any more than that. That is enough. So I'll see how I feel because I have to really watch my time. And I had a big snack of popcorn before, but anyway, I'm digressing on non-lottery stuff. But 7 o'clock, I'm gonna work on my game. I took the day off today because I lost 2 days in a row. I lost $4. I was so depressed, and I have to wait because my 2-3 number hits that I've had in Pennsylvania so far, the number that was really the linchpin of both those combinations has gone into a super exhaustion break. It's going out to the moon. I don't know where it's going, but it's approaching its longest all time symmetry. So I have to try to prep for that so I can go down the mountain and hopefully catch it on the repeat. I'm not gonna try and catch it on the exhaustion long skip dormant. I'm gonna try to catch it on the repeat because it likes to repeat. And that's it. So questions, comments in the bottom, any whatever. Anyway, stay tuned. I gotta go. I gotta take a break.